What if your entire life could shift? Not by doing more, but by knowing one truth so deeply, it rewrites your reality from the inside out. This isn't fantasy. It's not hype. It's physics. You're not waiting for a breakthrough. You are the quantum signal that triggers it. But here's the truth no one tells you. The shift doesn't happen just because you want it. It happens when you finally align with the one law the quantum field actually responds to. This shift isn't coming in the future. It's already surrounding you. But until you tune your being, you'll walk right past the doorway and call it just another day. So pause, breathe, because in the next few moments, you'll learn the truth that unlocks the frequency of your next reality. And once you know it, you can never go back. The illusion of external change. Most people live their lives waiting for the job to come, for the relationship to heal, for the circumstances to align before they allow themselves to shift. But this waiting is a trap. The quantum field doesn't delay, it reflects. It doesn't withhold, it mirrors. And the illusion that something out there needs to move first keeps you stuck in an energetic loop. Reality isn't late. It's responding to your signal in real time. We've been conditioned to think that cause and effect moves in one direction, that change begins outside and trickles in. But in quantum truth, the opposite is real. Change begins within and collapses outward. Your inner frequency is not a reaction, it is the initiator. When you hold on to old stories, unresolved emotions, and identities rooted in fear, you send out signals that demand your world stay the same. It's not punishment. It's perfect feedback. Every time you say, "I'll feel better when this changes," you give your power away. Because the field isn't waiting for external movement. It's waiting for energetic permission. You're not locked out. You're tuned out. The field isn't ignoring your prayers. It's reflecting your baseline. The mirror of life only reflects what you are, not what you wish for. The real illusion is believing that transformation is something you chase, that you have to hustle harder, do more, fix something out there before you can align. But alignment is not earned, it's remembered. You don't step into a new reality by force. You shift by frequency. The change you seek begins when you start living as the version of you that already has it, already knows it, already is it. Your current reality is not a mistake, it's a match. A vibrational echo of your most practiced beliefs and emotions. If there's chaos, it mirrors your inner fragmentation. If there's lack, it mirrors your sense of separation. The field does not lie, does not delay, and does not miss. It translates your vibration into form with surgical precision. External change is seductive. It gives you something to blame, something to fix, something to wait for. But real quantum change is invisible first. It's emotional, energetic, and internal. It begins in the moments you choose peace when anxiety is louder. It begins in the moment you act as if, not because you're pretending, but because you're aligning. You've probably felt it before, those flashes of synchronicity, those moments where life seemed to flow effortlessly. That wasn't random luck. That was alignment speaking. That was your inner state matching a reality that already existed in the field, just waiting for you to catch up to it. The illusion is that it was caused by something out there. The truth is, you created it. The reason most people don't see change is because they keep checking the mirror before they've changed the expression. They visualize for 5 minutes and worry for the rest of the day. They affirm with their mouths and doubt in their hearts. And the field doesn't respond to the words, it responds to the dominant frequency. If you are trying to manifest abundance while being emotionally loyal to scarcity, the field returns scarcity, not as punishment but as confirmation of coherence. This is why shifting your inner world is not a suggestion, it's the command. Your emotions are not background noise. They are energetic instructions, and the field listens closely. You were not born to beg the universe for scraps of change. You were born to remember that your being is the blueprint, that the only real shift is internal, that when you change how you feel, how you expect, how you identify, the mirror must reflect something new. You don't fix the world, you become the version of you that no longer needs to. There is no power in waiting for permission. There is no wisdom in outsourcing your alignment to circumstances. There is only now. And in this now, you are broadcasting a signal. The question is not whether the universe hears you. The question is, are you aware of what you're saying without words? Because that's the signal that forms the frame. So pause, feel, breathe. Your outer world is not broken, it's brilliant. It's working perfectly to reflect your inner atmosphere. If you want something different, don't wait for life to change. Become the one who no longer needs to, because the field doesn't wait at mirrors, and it's ready the moment you are. Frequency is the language of the universe. Most people believe the universe speaks in signs, in words, in symbols, but it doesn't. The universe speaks in frequency. Not what you say, not what you write down, but what you vibrate. That's the language it listens to. And while you may speak affirmations with your mouth, if your body is humming with doubt, that's the signal the universe receives. In the quantum realm, there's no translation. There's only reflection. You can't fake a frequency. You can't trick the field. The quantum responds only to the energetic truth you carry within. If you're broadcasting chaos but begging for clarity, you're misaligned. The signal is jammed. And the universe, being precise, not emotional, mirrors only what's coherent. It's not judging you. It's reflecting you perfectly. This is why manifestation isn't about what you want. It's about what you're being. The life you live right now isn't just a series of random events, it's an energetic match to your dominant vibration. Your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, they combine into one signal. That signal becomes your instruction to the field. And the field doesn't delay. It reflects instantly. Every emotion is a frequency. Every belief is a command. Love has a frequency. So does fear. Gratitude vibrates higher than scarcity. When you start tuning your body, your mind, and your heart to these higher vibrations, reality doesn't just improve, it shifts entirely. The field begins reshaping itself around your new signal. That's not philosophy, that's physics. You don't need to chase outcomes. You need to calibrate your energy. Just like a radio can only play what it's tuned into, your life can only echo what you're aligned with. You may say you want abundance, but if you're tuned into lack, you'll only ever receive situations that validate that frequency. The universe isn't late, it's exact. The more consistently you hold a vibration, the more dominant it becomes in your field. And when that vibration is clear, not scattered, not emotional noise, but focused and embodied, the field moves fast. This is why people who live in gratitude see more to be grateful for. Why those who live in fear attract more to fear. It's all frequency. Always. Your nervous system is your transmitter. It's not just your thoughts that broadcast, it's your whole being. If your body is carrying old trauma, that becomes part of your energetic message. If your heart is guarded by years of silent pain, it blocks the signal. Healing isn't just emotional, it's vibrational. You clear the noise so your signal can become clean. Stillness amplifies frequency. That's why silence is powerful. When you're still, you're not scattered. You're aligned. And in that alignment, the signal gets stronger. You don't manifest from frantic effort. You manifest from vibrational coherence. You don't need to scream your desires. You need to become the version of you who already lives them quietly, clearly, energetically. There is a truth most never see. The universe doesn't give you what you try to become. It gives you what you already are energetically. It responds to your baseline, not your goals, not your dreams, but your practiced vibration. So if you want something different, stop focusing on the outcome. Focus on the frequency that outcome lives on and become that. This is why so many people feel stuck. They visualize but still feel fear. They write affirmations but still believe they're unworthy. And the universe, being exact, doesn't translate hope, it reflects coherence. It doesn't hear please. It hears truth. So if your truth is fragmented, so will your results be. The work is inner. The transformation is vibrational. You don't rise by doing more. You rise by vibrating higher. By learning the emotional tones of love, peace, surrender, and confidence and living there. Frequency is not an abstract idea. It's measurable. It's real. It's magnetic. And your life is the sum of everything your field has been broadcasting up to this point. Want a new life? Start with a new frequency. Your heart is the most powerful emitter of frequency in the body. The electromagnetic field it creates extends beyond your physical form. It speaks before you do. It transmits what you truly feel, not what you pretend to be. This is why coherence between heart and mind is the foundation of all quantum alignment. You can't force it. You must feel it. You don't chase frequency, you become it. You embody it before the external evidence arrives. That's the paradox. When you truly live in the energy of what you seek, you stop needing it. You realize you already have it internally. And when need dissolves, resistance disappears. The universe flows. Life mirrors back the version of you that feels most true. The moment you begin to live from your chosen frequency, not as a performance, but as your natural state, your world reshapes. Subtly at first, then all at once. People shift. Opportunities align. Timing synchronizes. Not because you're controlling anything, but because you're finally in harmony with everything. That's not magic. That's resonance. So ask yourself, what are you truly vibrating right now? Not what do you hope for, but what are you embodying? Because in the language of the universe, you are always speaking. Your frequency is your message. And the field is always listening. The mirror effect. Everything in your external reality is a mirror. Not a metaphorical one, an energetic reflection. The situations, the people, the results, they all echo back the frequency you're radiating. Life doesn't respond to your intentions alone. It responds to your embodiment, and most people are walking through their lives unaware that the world around them is simply showing them what's already happening within. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. The universe is not personal. It's precise. It doesn't care if you're a good person. It doesn't reward suffering. It reflects coherence. And that reflection is happening constantly, in real time. If you want to understand what you're emitting energetically, just look around you. Your life is the mirror. If your relationships are chaotic, your inner world is likely unsettled. If your money feels blocked, your frequency around abundance may be tied up in fear or unworthiness. The field doesn't discriminate, it reflects. The mirror doesn't edit your image. It simply shows what's in front of it. And when you realize that, you stop blaming the mirror. You start changing the source. This is the great discomfort and the great power that you are not a victim of your reflection. You are the one projecting it. You are the frequency that writes the script. Every thought, every suppressed emotion, every core belief sends a message into the field. And the field, like a mirror, sends it back in the language of form and experience. Most people try to manipulate the reflection. They try to change their jobs, their partners, their environments, but never their frequency. They dress up the mirror without touching the signal. That's why change feels temporary. Because unless the vibration shifts, the reflection must return to its original state. You don't fix a mirror by wiping its surface. You change what it's reflecting. Every emotional wound you carry has a frequency, and that frequency speaks louder than your words. It's not what you're saying that the field hears. It's what your nervous system is vibrating. That's why people who constantly chase success often sabotage it. They want abundance but are vibrating lack, and the mirror accurately, neutrally reflects that. This is not a punishment. It's a curriculum. The mirror exists to awaken you. It's not there to hurt your feelings, it's there to show you what needs healing. The argument you keep having, the fear that keeps surfacing, the limitation that keeps showing up, they're all echoes. Echoes of a deeper vibration that's ready to be brought into awareness. There's a deep relief in understanding the mirror effect. Because you stop begging the universe for signs. You start reading the signs already around you. You understand that life is not working against you. It's showing you. Always. Every closed door, every moment of stillness, every delay, they're not accidents. They're feedback. When the mirror shows you something painful, don't look away. Lean in. Ask, what am I emitting that's being reflected here? What story am I still carrying? What emotion haven't I felt fully? That level of self-inquiry doesn't make the mirror softer, it makes you stronger. Because now you're not reacting to life. You're responding to its reflection. Think of the mirror as a sacred tool, a divine mechanism. It reveals what the mind wants to hide. It shows you what the mask conceals. That's why so many avoid silence. In silence, the mirror becomes clearer, and clarity demands change. But the bravest among us choose to look anyway, to sit with the reflection and transmute what no longer serves. The quantum field mirrors your baseline, not your moments of peak effort. That's why temporary motivation doesn't create lasting results. It's your dominant state that writes the instruction, your daily energy, your emotional home. That's what the mirror reflects back. Not your best moments, but your most consistent ones. And that's empowering, because you can choose your consistency. You can rewrite your emotional signature. You can regulate your nervous system. You can clear old trauma. You can shift from fear to presence. Every time you do, you send a new signal, and the mirror has no choice but to change. Coherence is the key. When your thoughts, feelings, and actions align, your frequency becomes sharp, clean, powerful, and the field reflects that power, not as a reward but as a resonance. That's why you don't have to chase alignment. You just become it. And then reality must meet you there. You've probably already felt this. The days where things just click, where synchronicities stack, where life feels like it's flowing through you. That's the mirror saying yes. Yes to your clarity. Yes to your presence. Yes to your embodiment. And just as quickly, when you're off, the mirror says no, not yet. Not until you align again. Resistance in the mirror is not rejection. It's redirection. The field isn't saying no. It's saying not in this frequency. When you try to manifest love from a state of self-loathing, the mirror doesn't reflect love. It reflects the lack of it. When you ask for freedom from a state of fear, the mirror can only reflect the fear. This is not cruelty. This is precision. There is no deception in the mirror. You can't smile your way past your shadows. You can't affirm your way out of misalignment. The field will always show you what you truly believe. That's why this work is so deep, because it asks you to face yourself honestly. Not who you wish to be, but who you currently are, and then shift. The mirror isn't always immediate, but it is always accurate. Sometimes the reflection takes time to catch up with your new signal. That's when faith is tested. That's when many revert to the old frequency. But the ones who stay in coherence witness the shift. They see the mirror change, slowly, then all at once. This is not about perfection. It's about awareness. The more you become conscious of your frequency, the more power you have to influence it. And when you influence your energy, you influence your reflection. You become less reactive, more intentional, less confused, more calibrated. Healing speeds up when you stop fighting the mirror and start reading it. Every heartbreak, every delay, every failure a message. Not a punishment, but a pattern. And every time you decode that pattern, you liberate energy. You shift the signal, and the mirror reflects your healing. This is the silent law of the field. Life is not happening to you. It's happening through you. The people you attract, the results you experience, the cycles that repeat, they're all transmissions being mirrored back. And that's the power you've always had. Not to control life, but to shift who you're being within it. When you stop trying to manipulate the mirror and start becoming the version of you who naturally receives what you seek, the entire game changes. You no longer chase. You calibrate. You no longer beg. You become. And the mirror, faithful and exact, reflects it all back. So if life is showing you something you don't love, don't blame the mirror. Shift the source. Tune the frequency. Because the universe is always listening, and the mirror is always speaking. The one truth that activates it all. There is one truth that doesn't need to be proven, only remembered. A truth so foundational, so quietly powerful, that once it lands in your awareness, everything starts to reorganize around it. It's not a secret hidden in ancient books or locked behind years of spiritual practice. It's already inside you. And the moment you remember it, you begin to live from a different field of power. That truth is this: you are not separate from the reality you seek. You are the signal that calls it in. You are not waiting for alignment. You are alignment in motion. The dreams you're chasing are not somewhere in the future. They are encoded within your current frequency. And when that truth becomes embodied, not just understood, Life begins to reflect it in ways you can't predict but you can feel. Most people spend their lives trying to rearrange reality, hoping that something out there will finally make them feel safe, whole, or free. But here's the quantum reversal. It's not the outer world that shifts the inner, it's the inner that commands the outer. The one truth activates this reversal. You stop waiting and start broadcasting. You stop chasing and start becoming. This isn't just mindset, it's mechanics. The quantum field doesn't respond to effort, it responds to resonance. You can't fake frequency. You either embody it or you don't. And when your thoughts, emotions, and actions match the version of you who already lives the life you're calling in, the field echoes that signal in form. You've heard it before, but this time let it land deeper. Your reality is not personal, it's precise. The field doesn't judge, it mirrors. It doesn't delay, it reflects the now. If the now is full of doubt, the mirror shows it. If the now is full of alignment, the mirror magnifies it. That's the law. That's the pattern. That's the truth. The one truth that activates it all is not found in doing more. It's found in being more intentionally, being in coherence, being in alignment, being the energetic equivalent of your vision. The reason this truth is hard to accept is because it demands radical responsibility. It removes the option of blame, but it gives you back your power. When you shift from effort to embodiment, your energy stabilizes. And when your energy stabilizes, synchronicity accelerates. The field moves faster because you've removed the static. The signal is clean. The reflection is sharp. This is what spiritual teachers meant when they said, "As within, so without." It's not metaphor, it's mechanics. The most misunderstood part of manifestation is that people believe they must become perfect to receive. That's not true. The field doesn't wait for your perfection. It responds to your coherence. That means your fears can still exist. Doubts can still arise. But your dominant signal, your most consistent frequency, must be aligned with who you are choosing to become. And here's the secret. That version of you already exists. It's not something you create, it's something you remember. In the quantum model, all timelines exist simultaneously. The version of you that's free, abundant, clear, loved, they're not a fantasy. They're a frequency. And the one truth that activates it all is that you can tune to that version at will. When you tune, the world bends. Not instantly, not always obviously, but undeniably. Opportunities shift, people arrive, circumstances align. Not because you forced them to, but because your vibration matched them. This is the invisible architecture of manifestation. And once you see it, you never unsee it again. The field is not moved by your need. It's moved by your signal. That's why desperation repels and trust attracts. You can say all the right affirmations, but if your nervous system is vibrating lack, the field reflects lack. It's not punishing you. It's showing you. The one truth demands that we stop pleading with the universe and start communicating through coherence. This isn't about suppressing emotion. It's about integrating it. Your shadow isn't the problem. Your fragmentation is. When you're whole, when you stop fighting parts of yourself, your signal becomes stable. The mirror reflects unity. And in that unity, manifestations land faster, clearer, and with far less resistance. The one truth that activates it all will ask you to surrender, not as weakness but as wisdom. Surrender is the release of resistance. It's the decision to stop forcing outcomes and start flowing in alignment. It's the knowing that the field is always listening and that it hears your essence louder than your words. Stillness becomes power when you understand this. Silence becomes communication. Because in stillness, you become the clearest transmitter. That's when you stop vibrating noise and start vibrating truth. Your truth. The one that doesn't need to be validated or approved, just embodied. This truth brings you home to yourself, to the awareness that you've never been separate from your desires. You were simply broadcasting the opposite signal. The field was never denying you. It was just matching you. And when you align with your highest identity, the field aligns with it too. The most powerful creators don't chase outcomes. They calibrate their identity. They don't ask, "How do I get it?" They ask, "Who do I need to become to match it?" That shift from force to frequency is the doorway to all transformation. It's where change becomes inevitable. The one truth will often feel invisible at first. You'll question whether anything's happening. But subtle shifts are the foundation of quantum leaps. Energetic upgrades precede physical results. Trust the lag. Trust the invisible. The field always moves. The mirror always reflects. Stay the signal. What you rehearse becomes real. That's why mental imagery, emotional rehearsal, and intentional embodiment work. They don't manipulate the field, they prepare you to match it. You're not asking the universe to give you something. You're giving yourself permission to become the version who already receives it. And here's the paradox. Once you become that version, the need disappears. You're no longer attached to the outcome. You're vibrating it. And in that non-attachment, the flow returns. Resistance fades. And the field responds not because you asked, but because you became. So ask yourself, what frequency am I living from most consistently? Not what I wish, not what I say, but what I truly embody. Because the mirror doesn't reflect our words, it reflects our state. And the more honest you are about your frequency, the more clearly you'll see the reflection. Let this truth settle. You are not separate from the shift. You are the shift. When you drop the illusion that you must become something more to be worthy, you remember that worthiness was your baseline all along. From that place, everything flows, everything aligns, everything activates. The one truth that activates it all is not complex. It's not distant. It's this: you are already the frequency of what you seek. You only have to stop forgetting. And the moment you stop forgetting, the mirror changes, the field responds, and your life transforms. You don't attract, you match. What if you stopped trying to attract the life you want, and instead started matching the frequency of the life that already exists? In the quantum field, nothing is truly created or destroyed. Everything is already here, vibrating at its own frequency. You don't pull reality toward you. You tune into the version that already exists. The shift begins not by wanting, but by aligning. Most people stay stuck because they're trying to magnetize outcomes from a place of energetic contradiction. They say they want peace, but vibrate in stress. They visualize abundance, but feel lack. And the field, without judgment, simply mirrors the misalignment. The universe doesn't respond to your words. It responds to your signal. You are a broadcasting tower. Every thought, every emotion, every belief is a frequency you transmit. And the quantum field, like a giant mirror, reflects that frequency in form. You're not being ignored. You're being answered. But until you match what you seek, you will only recycle what you are. There is no reward for effort alone in this dimension. It's not about how hard you try, but how clearly you vibrate. Trying implies separation. Matching implies union. If you believe something is outside of you, you delay its arrival. But if you embody the version of you who already has it, the field has no choice but to respond. Coherence is the key. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions are in harmony, your frequency becomes stable, strong, magnetic. That coherence is what the universe responds to. It doesn't respond to chaos or confusion. It reflects clarity, precision, and presence. Matching isn't about pretending. It's about remembering. Remembering who you were before the conditioning, before the doubts, before the fear distorted your signal. When you strip all that away, you don't become something new. You return to what you truly are. And what you truly are is powerful beyond measure. You don't need to convince the universe of your worthiness. You only need to stop broadcasting your unworthiness. The field is always listening, always reflecting, always responding to your dominant state of being. Most people confuse effort with alignment. They think if they just work harder, their dreams will manifest. But in the quantum world, force fractures the signal. It's not about working harder. It's about vibrating truer. Authenticity is more magnetic than hustle. You don't need to chase love. Become the version of you who knows they are already loved. You don't need to chase wealth. Embody the version of you who moves like abundance is their native language. This isn't delusion. This is energetic precision. Matching isn't a game of pretending. It's a game of embodiment. You rehearse the identity until the nervous system believes it. And once it does, the field does too, because your body is the speaker. It broadcasts what your mind affirms only when the feelings align. If you vibrate fear, you'll match fear. If you vibrate trust, you'll match trust. And in every moment, you are choosing what to become a vibrational match for. You do not get what you wish for. You get what you prepare for energetically. Preparation is not planning. Preparation is feeling. It's saturating your inner world with the felt sense of what you want before it lands. That's not fantasy. That's frequency mastery. That's how timelines collapse. The reason people feel stuck is not because their desires are too big. It's because their self-image is too small. If you can't see yourself with it, you're not a match to it. The quantum field doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you are. This means that identity is everything. Not in the sense of your name, your job, your status, but in the sense of who you are being at the frequency level. The version of you that has the life you want thinks differently, feels differently, moves differently. That version already exists. Your job is to match it. So stop trying to attract. Start attuning. Tuning your thoughts to optimism. Tuning your emotions to gratitude. Tuning your actions to integrity. Every day is a broadcast. Every moment, a signal. And the field never misses a beat. It doesn't matter what's happened before. The quantum field is always updating, always listening to the now. You can shift at any moment. You can start matching right now. That's how powerful this truth is. The past doesn't matter when the frequency changes. Even your struggles are not punishment. They're reflections. They are mirrors showing you what you're broadcasting. If you don't like what you see, don't fight the mirror. Change the signal. Shift your state. And the reflection must shift with it. Becoming a match doesn't require perfection. It requires presence. You don't need to be fearless, but you need to vibrate from a place of courage more than a place of fear. The dominant frequency wins. Energy speaks louder than effort. When you enter a room, your vibration introduces you before your words. When you wake up in the morning, your signal sets the tone before your tasks. Life isn't responding to your checklist, it's responding to your state. You can't fake frequency. You can't affirm abundance while vibrating lack and expect results. The field is too intelligent for that. It bypasses the mask and reflects the essence. That's not cruelty. That's clarity. Clarity is love, because it means you always know where you stand. The field will show you exactly what you're matched to, not to punish you, but to empower you. Once you understand this, nothing is random. Everything is feedback. The feedback becomes your guide. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What am I broadcasting that this is matching?" That question shifts you from victim to creator. It turns frustration into calibration. From this space, you take your power back. You stop begging the universe and start partnering with it. You realize you were never waiting for a miracle. You were waiting for coherence. And coherence begins with a choice. So what are you choosing right now? What are you matching right now? Because the next version of your life is already in the field. It's already encoded. And it's waiting for the signal. The only question is, are you tuned in? Don't chase it. Don't beg for it. Match it. Become it. And then let the mirror do what it always does. Reflect the truth of who you're being. Because in this universe, you don't attract your desires. You become the frequency that welcomes them home. The quantum shift is not a myth. It's not waiting for you in the next book, the next meditation, or the next affirmation. It's here but only if you align with the one truth that unlocks it. Not the truth you speak, but the truth you live. You are not chasing your future. You're either broadcasting its frequency or you're delaying it through resistance. So the question is simple. Who are you being when no one's watching? Because that's the version the field listens to. That's the signal creating your next timeline. Let this be your turning point. Not because something outside of you changed, but because you remembered that it all starts within. You are the shift. You are the frequency. And the quantum field is always listening. So if this message activated something inside you, don't just hear it, embody it. And if you're ready to go deeper, to live the frequency of your next level, subscribe, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and in the comments write, "I am the shift." Because once you know this truth, reality has no choice but to rearrange.